Hello everyone, and welcome back. I apologize. I recorded this entire episode, and the audio didn't record. You'll hear game audio, but you won't hear me talking to you. So I'm just going to voice over everything that happened. In here, I've cleared out this area and planted kelp. We're going to be making a kelp farm today. In order to do this, I'm going to have to gather some... I actually think I already have materials gathered here. And we're going to get into... Yep, there I go, showing it. And I'm going to hop into here. And I'm going to go ahead and get this going. I have typically forgotten a lever, as I always do. So I'm now running up the stairs to grab a lever. Great. We're having a good day today, as you can tell. Alright, so we're going to head back down and put in this lever. I believe it took me some finagling, but it'll be fine. So I dive in, and what we're going to do is clear out a little space to put down a magma block as well as a fan. The way that'll work is if I give the fan some redstone power, it'll start rotating with the heat of the magma block. Breathing so I don't drown here. But anyway, that will then power a rotary farm that will harvest all of this kelp. Those of you who know how Create works will already know that I have messed this farm up because I made the overall thing too tall. So what I'm going to end up doing, and I'll show it later, is covering up the first 2 layers of this, and then I can plant another 2, and then I can cover that up, plant another 2, and there we'll have a complete farm. It's going to take me a minute here to get this lever put in, as you'll see in just a moment. Yeah, that's not how levers work. And of course I'm about to drown again. I have to breathe like every 3 seconds. I do believe that I pause for a moment. And, yep, here we are back. And, plant this. I've gone under. I basically placed down the lever, made myself a separate hole from it, and then gone away from that, and then like airlock style came back up into the water. And of course, breathing again, eating to heal. I apparently don't need to heal here. But anyway, so then I place down the shaft, and then I place down the bearing upside down. That's fine. I go up for breath, as well as I believe, yep, to reorganize my inventory, get stuff ready. And we head down. So placing all of these with one more, because this is what I'm going to do with this is actually delete what I've just placed, but I'm going to place down the inventory interface on the edge of this. Then I go back down, I believe. I should. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to be placing down the actual arm that the harvesters will be attached to. With some difficulty, thanks to all the kelp in the way. I'm going to end up having to break this block here in order to place that correctly, and drowning because you don't get any water. Air, not water. And then we break that. And we're going to go ahead and place down this other block. So now, what I can do after I breathe, I'm stuck on who knows what, the environment, typical me. And I'm going to grab the harvesters, get those ready, hop back down, clear out the kelp so that I can place them down, and instantly realize that I don't have enough. I'm 1 short. I'll place it down here in a minute as soon as I take another breather. Yep, come on. There we go. Got it. I go up here. I take a brief pause to explain that I need to make another one. And I'm not sure what I'm gesturing to. Oh, the reason that I need one there in that middle slot is so that it harvests those middle ones. And the reason that I need the extended outside of where the kelp is planted, just so I get the outside ones. this is me telling you that I'm going to be back. Right back, I say. Alright, there we go. And we place down this final block here. Alright, so then I go up, and I think next I go ahead and clear out the area for where this is going to get delivered. Notice I have not put down a chest yet, and probably still won't for a minute. Yeah, I'm going to place down the block in there, and I end up clearing this out. Switching to the small square so I don't mine up in a massive amount. I pause, come back, it's done. More or less. But I've built the tunnel to go into my engine room here so that I can route the kelp into my furnace engines. That way they can have lots and lots of fuel. I'm just kind of gesturing over. I'm going to have to route the kelp behind them. But what I'm setting up today is just the process to dry out the kelp and make it into kelp blocks so that I can feed it into the furnaces so that they have fuel. I'm going to quickly cover up this water source because it doesn't need to be there anymore. I've got another one in my main room. And I end here for now. This is just the temporary spot so that I can end. And I place down belts, or attempt to, as you'll see here in a minute. Yep. You can see up there at the top, there went the other. I didn't understand what happened. And I was like, man, didn't I place it somewhere? And then I found it. I guess I placed it on top of the torch when I was over in that area. So we place down the belts here. And I believe I'm going to be pausing again and placing in the water wheel. I seem to have some fascination with digging out the block that has a torch on it and having to move the torches constantly. I'm also going to end up, to start, I'm going to be putting in a drawer with an andesite funnel on it, so that way I can pick up the kelp until I get the rest of the system set up, so that way that this system isn't overflowing, which it's already going to be because I haven't put down a chest. I also don't have glue here, so I believe I have to, yeah, there it is. I have to glue that on and then just rotate it. And then I believe I go down and start it. Yep. And it starts. And here's where I learn that it doesn't just cut the entire stock down. It only harvests the one spot that it's on. Yeah. But that's fine. It's not a big deal. Go around and pick everything up. Come on, today, pick it up. I don't know why I'm continuing to walk around it in circles. I'm not sure what I'm hoping to achieve through this. But, oh well. I believe I pause here in a moment. I can't remember for sure. I'm explaining that I will be able to either build up layers, just build up harvesters all the way, and then alternatively, I think is when I say I can just put down a, yep, there we go. Put down a layer, put down two more, put down a layer, put down two more. So that's what that talk is about. Now, I haven't done the math yet, but I think I'm going to have to fill around one more layer of cobble so that I can have it be too tall. But this arm that's already here should be perfect to be able to do that. I'm going to use the building gadget for... oh, I'm going to be building the wall, or the floor. Here's me not understanding what a horizontal column is at all. I still don't understand what a horizontal column is, apparently. I may just have the range too far down, I'm not sure. Nope, it's up to 7, so who knows. I think, yeah, I try a horizontal wall, which I learn means floor. Apparently. I do believe I drown at some point. Yeah, I'm like, oh look, I can place one block at a time. Great, useful. And then I'd try horizontal floor. horizontal wall, rather. And look, it's a floor. Because kelp has grown in the way, I can't place down. Not a big deal. The same thing happened again. Oh, it's because I'm super gluing that it's being kind of funky. That's right. But once I get rid of that, of course I drown before I can put down the last 3 pieces. And there we go. So with that, we now have it so that it will only grow too tall, and I don't have to worry about overfilling with all this stuff that's coming up. And I do break the block in the middle. I get confused because it stops for a minute. That's because it's dropping off, and it doesn't quite look like there's a block there, so I'm going to sit there for a minute pondering, start drowning right about now. Yeah. And then hop back down, and I'm going to break the block to double check that the middle block is still there. It does look kind of funky in this way, so I guess it's good that I'm being safe. Breaking that to see, yep, okay, the block is still there, great, place it back, and try not to drown. Excellent. I'm gesturing again to show you that I'm going to be building it up in layers, which is not a big deal. I don't know why I have to gesture it so many times, but here we are. And then I think in a moment here I'm going to go ahead and pause to set everything up. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gesturing. I think I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go get a drawer. Yeah, there we go. So I've gotten a drawer, I've gotten all the belts set up, I've got a water wheel set up, and for right now the kelp is just jumping into that drawer, which I have upgraded to the max. I did finally add the chest, so it now has internal storage. And there it connects. And then drops off the kelp it's got that goes straight into the drawer. So basically next what I want to have happen is I want to set up a couple bulk smokers, which is just a fan with the campfires. And then there I need a press to press the dried kelp into blocks. And then I'll, for now, have a chest at the end just to hold it until I get everything set up and piped into the engines. So, I'm just doing a bunch of wild gesturing there. I'm just showing you that I've got it with the max upgrade. I don't know what the point of me watching this is. I'm sure I'm explaining something. Probably for the 12th time. And getting pushed. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Riding the conveyor belt, that's what I'm doing. So I did end up running my miner again, and I'm about to show you right there. I sent it down. Annoyingly, however, despite getting, I think, 12 diamonds from the first run, I got 2 from this run, and they only came from like little offshoots. I didn't actually get them from the miner, they were just off to the side. So that was a little frustrating. I'm just kind of testing here to see can I find diamonds in the quick direction if I had actually sent it this way like I had originally planned. And the answer is no. And then I'm gonna go get a bunch of andesite. I think that's what I might have been saying, is I keep dumping all of my andesite for some reason. I keep forgetting that I need it. And personally, I don't really care for andesite as a block, so I don't really use it to build with very often. So I'm in the habit of just dumping it away. And I don't need to be doing that, because I need it. So I'm just checking the walls here to see if there's any diamonds nearby. I have more redstone than I could possibly ever use. I'm not really sure what to use it for in this pack. There's not really a lot of redstoning I want to do, just because I'm already doing so many mechanical contraptions. I don't need to add redstone on top of most of them. Some of them, it's useful. But here I'm just gathering some andesite. I don't know why I'm recording this point. Like, I should have just paused and moved on, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm going to finish gathering up some of this andesite, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I do have something here that I want to show you that's really cool, and it's this painting deal. It is a crafting blueprint, I believe is what it's called. And I'm going to be trying for a minute to get it to go 3x3. It won't for some reason, I'm not sure why. But I try like 4 or 5 times. And then I end up just moving it into the other room, trying it there. It doesn't work there either. I swear it's allowed to be 3x3, but I'm not sure. Maybe I need 2 to do that. I don't know. But it does work similar to a regular painting. And it's, in fact, it's made with a painting and a crafting table. So, but if I'm just going to put it down here, give up, call it good. But basically the point is you can set pre-recipes in. And then all you have to do is right click on them to gather the recipe. What you don't do is left click on it, because that just clears it. So I'm going to have to put it back in again. Mess up, of course. And then yeah, right click and that makes it, and shift right click makes a stack of it. And then it tells you what else you need. I set up, I think, yeah, andesite casings. I need planks, of course, to be able to set up the recipe as well as make it. So there we go. And I set it up to make andesite casing. Later, I believe I make belts with it. So just a couple useful things. You could use it to make cogs, chests. I mean, literally any recipe you could think of, you can use. Which is just really convenient in general, especially for this mod where you're making a lot of the same things over and over again. So I need to make a fan, and of course I'm missing some of the blocks I need for that. So I'm cutting, coming back, and we're going to go ahead and place down a fan. Not place down, make the 2 fans. And then I make a couple of campfires next, because so lava works as a smeltery, and campfires and fire in general, like if you put fire on netherrack, that makes a smoker, so it cooks food basically. So the lava will do anything that a blast furnace will do, and campfires and regular fires will do anything that a smoker will do. So I just make out a little 2x2 area here to place down a fan and then the campfires. And then I'm going to go through and set up a little way to get the belts all set up so that everything can run. So I've come back, I've gotten everything set up, I'm putting in the last belt I need, and hooray, the fans are going in the correct direction. So basically, yes, they do light you on fire. Essentially, the goal is I'm going to be putting down a brass funnel that goes into a chest, and then that chest will pipe out into a press it into dried kelp blocks, and then those will get piped into a chest. In fact, it's going to be this same drawer, and that will eventually be piped into our engines and anything else that might need fuel in the future. So I'm just shortening the belt so that I can place down the other edge. The reason I want a brass funnel is so I can specifically filter for dried kelp as opposed to just regular kelp, because it's not really long enough to dry it off all the way. And then I need a chest in order to be able to place the funnel on. I could, actually, thinking about it, just brass funnel directly into the press, but that's, you know, it doesn't leave me room for a buffer in case things start to fill up, depending on how good my farm goes and all that sorts of stuff. So it's just easier to do it this way. Additionally, I'm going to need to pipe again out of the press into the drawer, and then from that drawer I can take things to the engines and then anything else, like I said. So I'm going to go cut to that real quick and we'll be right back. Alright, so here we are. I've got everything set up now. I have all of the kelp blocks piping into the drawer. The kelp comes, I set myself on fire a lot here, so, you know, buckle up. I had to add an extra water wheel so that everything would run, but that's not too big of a deal. I should now be able to show you. I'm going to end up jumping through the fire to show you, but take a little dip in the pool. So the kelp is going to sit there until it gets smoked, and then it'll immediately go in and then make its way into the basin so that it can be pressed into blocks. Simple, easy, not too difficult. I believe eventually I'd mention here that I might end up splitting it off so that I can have a supply of dried kelp so that I can make belts and such with it. It's probably not a bad idea. I might end up doing it, but I'll do it off camera if I do it. Just letting you know. This is a overcomplicated setup just to be able to set up the press, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. But yeah, there it goes into our little chest here. And we have currently 11 dried kelp blocks. Yeah, so I'll be able to power my engines, and I'll be able to power anything else that needs fuel in the meantime. So like, eventually I have this really cool idea for how to pipe stuff back and forth between, like, when we get the actual factory going. Basically, my goal is have a truck that goes back and forth, or a train, I don't know, that goes back and forth, picking up like fuel and raw materials, piping it to the factory where it gets turned into all the different baked goods that we're going to make, and then eventually that will go to a distribution place. I have kind of a cool idea for like a food court type deal, and that'll drop off all the completed things. So that is the goal. Yeah, I'm gonna need lots of fuel for the trucks and everything because it's gonna be powered by mine carts, and they're gonna be furnace mine carts, so naturally that's important. So yeah, with all of that done, it's not a ton today, but considering my mic was muted, I guess I'm glad I didn't do that much today. So yeah, thank you all very much for bearing through this little technical difficulty. I think next time we'll tackle food, because I'm getting very hungry and I'm getting very tired of having to do it myself. So we'll set up a couple of different farms, animal farms, as well as, you know, crop farms. And then we can set up the processing for all of those. In the meantime, I hope that you liked the video. If you do, be sure to give that like button a nice warm hug. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, tell a friend, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Peace.